Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nkoya and I'm also known as Ndinaija. Ja. The reason I'm unable to do my signature hand move is because of that. Yes, I'm holding a lot of books together. I'm acting as a book stop. I think that's what those things are called. But I've mentioned on my channel previously that I would like to embark on a new study journey, a professional certification journey to get my PE license. And well, let's start at the beginning. My American bachelor's degree, I have a Nigerian bachelor's degree as well. My American bachelor's degree is in architectural engineering. My master's degree is in structural engineering. I've been working in construction since I graduated. I have a choice, I believe, between taking the architectural engineering professional engineering exam or professional engineer exam and the civil PE construction module PE exam, or the civil PE professional engineer exam, whatever the right acronym or statement is. In my research so far, I have not found a lot of resources for the architectural engineer or the architectural engineering PE exam. There are a lot of material for this one, the civil construction exam. There are a lot more people who take it, and there are a lot of people that are in that field or category. So I'm in a bit of a dilemma, and I'll unravel that dilemma as the months go by. But I wanted to start from somewhere. This is, you start where you are with what you have, and you proceed from there, change course if necessary, and you refine and fine-tune. The scientific process and the engineering process is one of continuous improvement and iteration. So here's what I have to start with. These are the materials I have. I think I'll start from the oldest here. You know what? I need to rearrange this because once I take my hand off these books, that's going to happen. 1 second. First thing I have is the Fundamentals of Engineering Reference Handbook. This is the 7th edition, and this was what I used when I took the exam, when I took the FE exam in 2008. I figured I'd start here with what I have. The FE exam evaluates people based on what we're supposed to have learned in college, but there are a lot of basic and beginner engineering things and terms in here. So I figured since I have it, I'll get it. I don't know if it's free anymore. No, this wasn't free, but I think there was a coupon. Steam tables, this is thermodynamics. This ASHRAE curve. Oh God, two independent intensive properties. That has been drilled into my brain. So this is the first book, and it's from the NCEES. This is another old book, and it's Simplified Design, Reinforced Concrete Buildings of Moderate Size and Height. I believe this is the 1984 version. Yes, this is the 1984 version, so it's pretty old. But I've noticed, or I've seen from researching online, there are a lot of words fail me. But anyway, there's a lot of value in getting some of these old books. This is an old, for the 2006 International Building Code. an old Codemaster for seismic design category. I did my final project in college under architectural engineering as I was evaluating the differences between buildings in different natural disaster zones. So I designed a building that could withstand earthquakes, and this was one of the materials I used. But this will be old right now. But anyway, that's what I have. This here is a binder that contains my, whoops, that's some personal information there. But these contain my notes for electrical or power engineering. This is from way back. But that's what I have. I have another book on reinforced concrete mechanics and design. I used this during my master's. And I believe a couple of new editions have come out since this was published. This is the 5th edition by James K. Wright. This is one of the newest things that I have gotten so far, and this is the Architectural Engineering PE Practice Exams and Solutions. This is literally the only study material that's out there for the AEPE. It's published by ASCE, and if you go on the NCEES website, which is what? National Council of Examiners for Engineering and Surveying. If you go on their website, the NCEES tells you that they do not have the practice materials. The American Society of Civil Engineers has the materials, and this is the only one. Other exams, the NCEES has material or study material, research material for other exams, and AE is just left out. That's another reason why I wanted to do this video. This is a quick card for the National Electric Code, and this is for the 2017 code. These are just quick references, and these are some of the things that one would have to put in their multiple binders, because the PE exam is an open book exam. It's an 8-hour open book exam, but I believe you're only allowed to bring in bound books. So, you need to kind of pick and choose what you're going to get. A lot of people come in with some sort of suitcase or rolling basket, because you cannot carry all the books that you will take into your exam. And it's better to bring the book and have it than not. So hence people bringing luggage and multiple carriers. I think if I find one, I'll insert a picture here of someone taking of what someone took to their exam. I've seen a couple on Instagram. So this was I don't recall when I purchased this. I think this was probably when I bought this one, which is very recently. This is the Civil PE Construction Module Problems by Rajapakse, and I got this because I was initially considering taking the Civil Construction PE. I'm still not sure if I will take this exam or not, but I feel like there is no harm in using the material to study until I sort of have a comfortability, or I sort of have a factor of comfortability, that may or may not be a word, with my preparation so far, and then I would choose which one I would take. So that's that one. This is another old book, but this is a multidisciplinary approach to understanding buildings by Esmond Reed. This is a 1988 edition of a 1984 book by MIT Press. Some of these very old books are useful in just in explaining the basics of whatever it is you're learning. This is not my handwriting. Guide to Financial Independence, Charles Schwab. That's interesting. I'll keep these note cards here. This was probably by whoever was reading the book a long time ago. Another card. This is some good paper. Ways in which heat is transmitted. Right now, this is the only, I think, this is the only HVAC related book that I have. If I were to do the AEPE, I would need to study or reference material in all the different disciplines that architectural engineering covers: structural, soil, geotechnical, construction, project management. Maybe, I don't know that they will look at architectural design, but I have the breakdown for whatever, for what the exam covers in there. This is an old book that I have, The Architect's Studio Companion, Rules of Thumb for Preliminary Design. I used it in college. That's me. And it's just basics, but it has some information on the International Building Code, and that's why I have it here. Until I purchase the code, this is what I have. Let's move the first set out of the way. Okay. Next would be more reinforced concrete design. This is Shams. And how old is this? Oh, I can't find it. The date doesn't matter, but that's more reinforced concrete design. This is structural steel design. I will most likely need to buy the AISC steel reference manual. This is another book, The Illustrated Dictionary of Building Design and Construction. I need to get another illustrated book, which would be by Francis Ching, and that would be the illustrated International Building Code, where he basically draws the things that the code discusses, or the requirements that the code discusses. I have an old one of it, but I didn't bring it because, I mean, there's already way too much here. This book is Project Control, Integrating Cost and Schedule into Construction. Let me see what is in here before I show you guys. Okay. So, more study material. I feel like I bought this when I purchased this one as well for the civil construction PE. This is an old, very old book, and I think my dad gave me this. Yes, because this was how much it cost way back in 1976. When did my dad graduate? 74? Something like that. So he might have used this to study for his engineering exam. Yep, this is estimating. This is my dad's handwriting. So this book is how old? Estimating for Building and Civil Engineering Works. This is a British book, this book is of British origin, but I think it's just one of the things. I was glad to have it because it was going to be very useful for the civil construction part. Even though, you know, items are in pounds, I would have to go through and probably recalculate these for dollars, but yeah, these are in pounds. So that's estimating, and they have definitions and more charts and tables at the back. Another thing that I purchased way back when, Structural Systems for Architectural Engineering Design. Let me make sure of what's written here. Funny, I didn't write my name on some of these books. Ah, no, I did. I sure did. Okay. Jurisdictional constraints, zoning ordinances. This is all structural and structural related. I've studied this book before, and I liked how plain the language is. Earthwork. And useful formulas. This is a very, very, very big big item, getting all the useful formulas and having them with you. So that's what the material I have so far, and I've told you guys that I'm going to purchase one more, which is the Building Codes Illustrated, in order to start studying. So far, this is the printed material that I have. I went to the NCES website and printed stuff. Like, this is where the exams would be offered. I would have to go to Austin to take this particular exam because it's not offered in my city. Austin's the closest place. And then I also have to go to the Texas board in order to transfer my FE license from Tennessee to Texas. Now, this is the nitty-gritty of the AE exam. This is beginning with the April 2018 exam. This exam is an 8-hour open book exam. It contains 40 multiple choice questions in the 4-hour morning session and 40 multiple choice questions in the 4-hour afternoon session. And you're supposed to answer all the questions. In this particular exam, you do not get a negative point for the wrong answer. Like on some exams, if you answer 10 questions and you answer 8 questions right and 2 questions wrong, in addition to losing the marks on the 2 questions, you get some additional points docked for those 2 questions that you got wrong. This exam doesn't do that. So the more questions you answer, the better for you and the better chance you have. These are the basic topics that they're going to be asking questions on. Building systems integration. I have one book that discusses building systems, but it's mainly on structural systems. Where is that? That's building construction, project controls, architectural engineering, design. I thought I had building systems illustrated. Well, I don't. Then electrical systems. Right now, I only have my notes on the electrical systems, and I believe I sold my 2007 electrical code a long time back. Now, I would have to purchase another one. Mechanical systems. Right now, this is what is lacking in my study material. I have a lot of stuff on structural systems simply because my master's is in structural engineering. Project management and construction administration. I also have a few books on that. Example, this is estimating, the project controls, and I do have a book on project management. It is not here. I have one book on project management, and I also have the CSI, CDT, and CCCA study material for whatever that's worth. This is the Examinee guide, and it tells you which exams are paper-based and computer-based. Both of the exams that I'm planning to take are pencil and paper exams, or both of the ones that I'm considering, architectural and civil. All modules are in there. Both of them are paper exams. So there are a lot of things in this. So there are a lot of things in this exam. It tells you what you need to do and how you're eligible for it. The costs right now, the cost of the PE as of November 2019. The cost of the PE was $375, but I believe the Texas Licensing Board will require another cost. So that's one thing. There are a whole bunch of items and pieces of information in here, and it's important to read through all of this. PE, chemical, civil, these are for some of the exams that have different testing dates. Now, the testing dates here have changed because of COVID-19 or the coronavirus. All the people who were scheduled to take exams this past Friday and Thursday, those exams were canceled and moved to October 2020. Yeah, usually the PE and the FE and FSPS exams are taken either in April or in October. So far, because of coronavirus, like I said, whatever happened or whatever was supposed to happen in April has been moved to October. And we will see if those exams still hold in October. And there's more information here. Does this one have the... Okay. I thought this was the... Sorry. I went through the NCES website to look at passing grades for the different exams, and it can be quite scary, I tell you, but don't be scared. I'm talking to myself. I'm telling myself not to be scared, and I'm just trying to encourage myself and say, just start where you are and keep going, and that's it. These are the approved calculators. As you can see, the calculators I have, and I talked about this in a previous video, this is the Texas Instruments, all TI-30X and 36X models. Any Texas Instrument calculator must contain either this or this in its model name. And this is the one I have, the TI-36 Pro. The one I used for the FE exam is this Casio FX115. And I didn't realize it, but both of them have two-way power. They both use both solar power and battery power. It's important for you to have a calculator that does that and, you know, expose your calculator to light just so you do not have a problem with your calculator running out of power. Now, these are some big issues. Grounds for dismissal from the exam or invalidation of exam results. You cannot have a cell phone. You cannot have loose papers, legal pads, writing tablets, or unbound notes in your possession. You cannot have anything that can possibly record. You can't have... Oh, hold on a second. They said you cannot have a fitness tracker. Wow, especially if it's one that makes noise. At least what I've seen on the engineering boards, you can't have one that makes noise. This is interesting. Using a non-NCEES writing instrument or eraser to complete any portion of the exam. Copying, beginning before the proctor says you can, failing to stop writing immediately when time is called. Yes, you have to. Oh man, I remember what happened with the FE exam. It was crazy. And then there's a candidate agreement that you have to sign. You also cannot share questions that you saw on the exam with anybody outside the exam. If you do that, that is grounds for your results to be invalidated. That is a big one. So that's it. I think I've gone through this in exhaustive detail. If you've watched through the end of the video, thank you. Sample diagnostic report for pencil and paper exams, except SE. So this is what your results would look like April 17. And that's it. And then I've been, like I said, I've been researching. So this is a website that I found and some stuff that I need to do. Guide to professional licensure. And where is my FE certificate? Because that is not certificate. Where is my FE? So that's that. This is all the information that I have so far. I think my next video on this would be actually having my study schedule. It's possible that I don't need a particular study schedule as of now. I've tried to do one practice exam and it was completely bonkers, like completely bonkers. I ran into so much material that I had no clue about. Well, I shouldn't say I had no clue about. I don't know if I was nervous or whatever, but either way, I'm starting from scratch, and that's just it. And thank you for watching. I hope I haven't been rambling too much. I know I have been. But this is what I have so far, and this is where I intend to begin. This is the multidisciplinary book I was looking for. And this is the only one so far that I have. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.